Hey everyone, and welcome back to our channel. Today we're going to be talking about some little-known survival tips that could potentially save your life in a variety of situations. Whether you're lost in the wilderness, experiencing a heart attack, being attacked by a wild animal, or caught in a sinking car, it's important to know how to react quickly and effectively. So let's get started with the first tip. Tip number 1, collecting water in the wilderness. If you find yourself lost in the wilderness and need water, there are a few methods you can use to collect it. One option is to collect dew early in the morning by using a piece of cloth or clothing to wipe it off plants. Another option is to collect water from vines or trees by cutting a leafy branch and letting the water drip into a container. It's important to note, however, that not all water sources in the wilderness are safe to drink. Water from streams and rivers should be boiled or treated with a water purification tablet before drinking to avoid harmful bacteria and parasites. Tip number 2, improving blood flow during a heart attack. If you're experiencing a heart attack and don't have access to medication, coughing repeatedly can help improve blood flow to your heart by increasing pressure in your chest. However, this is not a substitute for seeking emergency medical attention. If you or someone around you is experiencing a heart attack, it's important to call for emergency medical help immediately. Tip number 3, defending yourself during a wild animal attack. If you're being attacked by a wild animal, it's important to stay calm and not run away. Instead, make yourself look bigger by raising your arms and standing on your tiptoes, and make loud noises or shout to intimidate the animal. If it attacks, try to defend yourself with a stick or other object, aiming for the animal's nose or eyes. It's important to note that different animals require different approaches. For example, playing dead may be the best option when being attacked by a grizzly bear, while standing your ground and making noise can deter a cougar. Tip number 4, escaping a sinking car. If you're trapped in a sinking car, it's important to act quickly. Try to roll down the windows or break them with an object and escape through the opening. If that's not possible, wait until the car fills with water and the pressure equalizes, then open the door and swim to the surface. It's important to note that this can be a difficult and dangerous situation, and it's important to remain calm and think clearly to increase your chances of survival. Tip number 5, escaping a rip current at the beach. If you're caught in a rip current while swimming at the beach, don't try to swim against it. Instead, swim parallel to the shore until you're out of the current, then swim back to the beach. If you can't swim, float on your back and wave your arms for help. It's important to note that rip currents can be difficult to identify, so it's important to be cautious when swimming in the ocean and stay within the designated swimming areas. Tip number 6, finding water in the desert. If you're stranded in the desert, finding water is crucial for survival. However, drinking your own urine is not a safe or effective way to hydrate. Instead, look for sources of water such as cacti, or collect dew or condensation from rocks or other surfaces. It's also important to conserve your energy and avoid overexertion in the hot and dry desert environment. Tip number 7, seeking shelter during a thunderstorm. If you're caught in a thunderstorm, avoid taking shelter under trees or other tall objects. Instead, seek shelter in a building or a car with a metal roof. If you're in a building, stay away from windows and avoid using electronic devices or plumbing. If you're in a car, make sure all the windows are closed and avoid touching any metal surfaces. It's important to note that lightning can strike up to 10 miles away from a thunderstorm, so even if the storm seems far away, it's best to seek shelter as soon as possible. If you're in an open area and can't find shelter, crouch low to the ground with your feet close together and avoid lying flat. This will minimize your contact with the ground and reduce the risk of being struck by lightning. Remember, lightning can be deadly, so it's always better to err on the side of caution and seek shelter when a thunderstorm is approaching. If someone around you is struck by lightning, call 911 immediately and begin administering CPR if necessary. There you have it. 7 tips that you can use to live another day. By following these tips, you can stay safe and avoid potentially life-threatening situations. Thank you for watching and stay safe out there.